Paris, the French group designing and building Australia's new $50 billion fleet of submarines says it will ensure that whatever caused an Argentinian submarine to vanish in the South Atlantic will not happen. The Argentinian Navy's German-built San Juan reported an electrical malfunction shortly before disappearing last week with 44 crew on board. An Argentine military submarine went missing at sea on Friday, prompting a massive search. Hafiz Saeed is accused of masterminding the 2008 terror attacks in which 166 people were killed. Now, he is being freed from house arrest. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull and Foreign Minister Julie Bishop have outlined Australia's changing priorities on the global stage, when releasing the Foreign Policy White Paper. Tension is rising on Manus Island with PNG police inside the detention centre, as around 100 men refused to leave, weeks after essential services were cut off. ITAS bumper to bumper in Los Angeles as families try to get ahead of each other for the Thanksgiving holiday. A U.S. Navy transport plane carrying 11 people has crashed in the Philippine Sea south of Japan, with officials reporting 3 people still missing. U.S. President Donald Trump has reignited a feud with the father of one of the 3 UCLA basketball players who were detained in China on suspicion of shoplifting. Former Vice President Emerson Mnangagwa will soon be sworn in as president, marking a new era for a country dominated by Robert Mugabe for nearly 4 decades. An Argentine military submarine went missing at sea on Friday, prompting a massive search. Whenever there's an accident, we want to understand what happened and make sure this accident cannot happen on our boats, said Jean-Michel Billig, from the French Naval Group, Executive Director of the Australian Future Submarine Programme. If it was necessary to adapt the design of Australia's submarines, due to enter service in the early 2030s, then they would, Billig told a visiting group of Australian journalists at Naval Group headquarters in Paris on Wednesday. He said he did not know what had happened to the San Juan, but crew safety was one of the top-level requirements for Australia's new subs, which are still on the drawing board, having their basic dimensions reviewed to make sure they are the right size for the Navy's needs. It is too early to speculate what happened to the San Juan, Billig said. But if there are any lessons to be learned, we will make sure this will not happen again. The submarines will come with a system of unmanned submersibles to rescue crews from stranded submarines. Get the latest news and updates emailed straight to your inbox. By submitting your email, you are agreeing to Fairfax Media's terms and conditions and privacy policy. Billig said communication from submarines was difficult, as water dampens radio signals. But he hinted the Australian Navy has top-secret technologies that enable a submarine to send out an effective SOS. The search for the San Juan went into a critical phase on Wednesday, an Argentinian Navy spokesman told Reuters, as the crew may be running out of oxygen. Around 30 planes and boats are searching for the submarine, which had enough oxygen to stay submerged for 7 days.